It's funny.
Filament that was discovered by a German chemist in 1789. The significance of this discovery wasn't understood for a century and a half. In
It's actually
1936,
discovered before that.
scientists figured out that uranium atoms could be split to produce energy.
Saskatchewan is actually an old chemical dump, an old radioactive
This
dump,
nuclear fuel
actually,
bundle
or
generates
storage
a lot
site.
more heat.
A very
It's
sloppy
enough
one, but yeah.
uranium to power 100 homes for a year. To obtain the uranium, they tunnel 1,640 feet underground at this site in northern Saskatchewan. This mine is the largest source of high-grade uranium in the world.
It's an old chemical dump, actually.
The uranium
It's not actually.
beneath a bed of water-saturated
They stored it
soils.
down there a long time ago. They went out there. Saskatchewan is an old Indian reservation, and they stored all the stuff. It had a rock thing.
To the rock face.
You'd have to be hundreds of years old to understand that it's actually an old chemical dump site, where they dumped out the waste product from the reactors or something like that. And now it's very valuable, and actually it's because pretty much it's the only source of basically radioactive isotopes and all that. It's actually an old chemical waste site that was there since probably 1200 or something like that. Saskatchewan is an old thing. I don't know why I was Indian reservation, but basically it's an old site. It's one of my old sites, but it's actually an old chemical dump site, basically a trash site for chemical waste. And it was locked inside of the rock, and now they're mining it. So anyway, it's very valuable, basically, because it's hard to come by, and it actually comes from lead or whatever. That's how you actually get radiation. Is you take lead and you break it down basically into different elements. And that's how you get. And now they're mining it, basically. But it's actually an old chemical dump site that's like thousands of years old or something like that.
Workers now gear up to mine the ore.
Anyway, though, and now they're mining the old chemical dump waste site. So, anyway, and that's what they're actually doing here. So anyway, it's basically just a big slurry site. They probably dig through concrete at some point in time. I wonder if they notice how they dig through concrete at some point in time, because they're big tanks or whatever. It's a big chemical dump site that had a rock base or whatever, and then they put it down. They dug down there and put it all in there, and now some odd years later, I guess as the radiation has kind of abated, they mine it. But some radiation, it takes time for it to work or whatever. I don't really know that much about radiation, but basically these are all old chemical dump sites.
The drill pulls the reamer up the pilot hole, widening it.
Everyone's like, where do they get all these things? It's like, it's an old chemical dump site. It was on the maps. So anyway, I mean, it's been there for like thousands of years. And they're just going now to mine it. They started mining it in 1930 or whatever, or whenever. And if treated right, you can do it completely safely, and it's a source of radioactive isotope. If treated wrong, it's very dangerous, but you need remotes and all kinds of stuff to be able to do it safely. If you breathe the stuff in, oh God, like oh man, oh Lord, if you breathe in that dust, the radioactive particles, that's where it's really bad, and then you die. Or you die within 30 years or something like that. It's not so bad if you don't breathe it in, but if you breathe it in, then it's really bad. Anyway, and I just know from all the past nightmares that was basically dealing with this stuff throughout the years. But now they can do it automatedly and stuff like that, where it's very little effect on the miners themselves. Anyway, this is all German, actually. Some people would try and take credit for that, but Germany actually did it because they weren't going to mess around with it unless it was safe. So Germany actually came up with all the different safety ways to deal with radioactive isotopes safely without ever even getting anywhere near it. A lot of people would say Howard Hughes and America, but no, it was Germany. Well, it was my Germany. It's me in Germany and my America that actually dealt with it safely. So like this, it's perfectly safe, and there's no risk to anyone. But it's a lot. It's a pretty complicated endeavor. So, like I say, once again, Lucifer Star, Germany, and me, the Lord of Germany, and me. But so, whatever, I mean, basically, some crazy people running around trying to take down everything or trying to confuse everyone, just shooting everyone. A lot of stuff happened. So anyway, yeah.